it's Angel Vane, and this is episode 86 of my author's diary. I am an author of crime thrillers for women, and every week I take you through the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books. So don't forget to subscribe or follow me if you haven't done so already. This week, I am very happy to say the end. She done. She did that. Okay, so in reality, I'm partially done, but on Saturday, I wrote the end on The Unexpected Hero, book 4 in the Hero in Paradise series. I am done with my original manuscript version 2, which is the full 100% of the book. It is ready to go to the editor, and I finished early. I finished 1 week early on getting the book done. And I can tell you right now, I am amazed that with everything that I had going on, because in my day job, like January and February are like super busy for my day job. And so I had a lot more work to do in January and February. It's always like that. And the fact that I was able to stick to my writing plan and still get the novel done and get it done 1 week early, I'm like, it's boggling my mind. And I really thought that something was going to pop up that was going to derail me, and nothing happened that derailed me. Like, I was able to stick to my plan and get it all done. And I know that, like, I don't want to fool myself. Because, I want to start being cocky. Oh, it's so easy. Oh, I got my writing plan and everything just works out. No, I don't want to go down that road, because I just happened to be in a patch of time where the motivation was there, the plan was there, and I was actually able to execute. I know it may not always be like this for the rest of the year, but while it is working, I'm going to work it. And so, yes, I am done. But, yeah, the editor's not able to take the book early. Like, oh, okay, well, yeah. So I don't know that I get any, additional time to publish the book earlier, because, again, the editor wasn't expecting to get it a week early. And so now that it's ready a week early, it's kind of like, yeah, that's great. The editor will get to it next week. So I have 1 more week with my manuscript. And so it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? Do I just say, yeah, I'm going to punt it and let the editor just go through it? Or do I want to take another pass through my own document and just kind of see, hey, are there any other things I might want to tweak or change or do something like that before the editor kind of gets their hands all over it? So I decided that, yes, I'm going to do another round. Yes, another round. But I don't make a secret of this. I love revision. The initial writing is okay. I live in revise land. I love to revise. And so I have 1 week to go back through the document and see if there's anything else I want to clean up or change before I hand it over to the editor. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about in the bulk of this video, is what am I going to do with this kind of rapid fire 1 week self-editing, self-developmental editing of the novel before I hand it over to my editor. But first, I want to show you my finished manuscript. Yay! All right, so I got it right here. This is The Unexpected Hero. These are all the pages. These are all my words. It's so beautiful. Why is it half purple paper and half white paper? I didn't even think that I still had purple paper left, but obviously I did, and it was in my printer. And now it's just two-toned, and it's like, yeah, there's really no rhyme or reason for why I have 2 different color paper here, but I will just go ahead and work with that. So I planned this novel, this one here, to be 90,000 words. It is clocked in at 99,105. The only good thing that I can say about that is at least I didn't write 100,000 words. So part of my process will be trying to whittle this baby down by about 10,000 words before I give it to the editor myself, to try to tighten it up. tighten it up a little bit more. So I'm wondering if there are areas where maybe I was a little bit self-indulgent and maybe I went into a little bit too much detail about something that really doesn't matter when it gets to the grand scheme of the last part of the book, when it's time to, like, you know, vanquish Priscilla Dumais, the big baddie that's in the book. So yeah, so I'll be looking for things of that nature. The other thing that I'm going to be doing as I go through this is I have learned that people who really enjoy my books are readers who love romantic suspense, but they really like their romantic suspense to be 50-50 romance and suspense. So they want a strong suspense plot with strong romance elements also in there. And they skew a little bit more towards, hey, if you're a little more suspense than romance, that's okay, but don't let it get too out of sync. And so I did have one of the books in the series where kind of got dinged a little bit for not being enough romance, because I kind of like went all off on a tangent on the suspense part. And I think I reined that back in. That was book 2, The Relentless Hero. Fallen Hero, I was paying closer attention to that. Really tried to make sure it was balanced, had enough romance in there. And so that's one of the other things I'm going to be checking as I do my own rapid fire self-developmental editing of this manuscript is, what's my ratio of romance to suspense? And y'all know I'm a numbers girl, right? Yeah, numbers girl, accountant. Like, so numbers are my thing. And so, like, I'm literally going to come up with a calculation of how much romance and suspense do I feel is in each chapter, and see, does it flesh out to be close enough to 50-50 to me. Like, that's just how I roll. That's the kind of stuff, nerdy, I know, but that's the kind of stuff that I do, and that makes me feel comfortable that when I let the book out to the world, it's meeting the expectations of my readers. The next thing that I really have to go back through and assess is, will readers think that book 4 was worth it? Like, I really want every book in the series to be better than the last, because again, it's 4 books. And you think about somebody spending enough time to read 4 90,000 word books. That is a lot of time out of somebody's life. And the last thing I want to happen is for them to get to book 4 and be like, yeah, she could have kept that one because it just kind of didn't do the ending justice, right? So I want this book to really do the ending justice. And I feel like I've packed a lot of suspense, I've packed a lot of action, I've packed a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of obstacles, there's a lot of setbacks. And some of the setbacks are kind of the physical bang bang type of stuff where, you know, somebody's after people. But some of it is a lot of internal obstacles, things that people are struggling with internally. And so I tried to put both into this book to really try to say, hey, this last one is worth reading. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to be happy. You're going to enjoy the ride. It's going to like take you on those ups and downs that I like to do. But in the end, tie up all of the loose ends that have been created and started in the first 3 books of the series, kind of wrap all of those up in this book and get Julian and Mina to their happily ever after. Like, no more threat. Like, they happy, they good, like, get them to that. And I can tell you in the epilogue, spoiler alert, but not spoiler alert, because y'all know how the tropes go for romantic suspense, they are like happily ever after. Book 1, 2, and 3 is kind of like they happy for now, but there's going to be some other stuff popping up. Book 4 ends with they are happily ever after. It's done. Done. So yeah, so that's another thing that I'm going to be looking out for is, have I given a story that I believe is better than book 1, better than book 2, and better than book 3, so that when people read it, they feel like, yes, that was worth my time, and yes, I am happy and satisfied with the resolution of this series. And then the last thing that I'm going to be focused on as I go back through this manuscript this week is looking for continuity issues. And it gets really hard right now. I didn't realize how hard a series was going to be to write, because yeah, I kind of thought my memory was great. Like, oh, I remember I wrote this. I remember. Yeah, no, she don't remember, right? So I really have to go through and check for continuity issues. Are there places where I am inconsistent either internally within just book 4, The Unexpected Hero, or are there things that I have brought up here in The Unexpected Hero that is inconsistent with any of the previous books in the series? And I can tell you that I have already identified one area where it is not consistent with book 1. And I realized that book 2, book 3, and book 4 are not consistent with something I did in book 1. And I'm like, no, right? You're just like, oh, it's kind of like the worst feeling. And normally as indie, right, you just say, okay, well, just go and fix it. Yeah, but had audiobook done for book 1, right? So when you have an audiobook done, one of the things that Amazon does is they do this whisper sync so that if someone has the ebook and the audiobook, that they can go back and forth between the two, and it keeps up with where you are in the story. So if I go fiddling with book 1, guess what? My audiobook is now out of sync, which means, oh, do I need to go back to my narrator and ask him to like redo one whole chapter because I needed to tweak something for continuity? Like, it just, when I realized that that's what I'd done, I was like, and I said, you know what? I'm not fixing it. But I'm also not going to tell you what it is either. So if you find it and you call me out on it, guess what? I'll be like, you're right. Bingo. You got it. You found it. You found it. But I'm just going to like not even mention it. I'm not going to highlight that it's different. Some savvy readers might pick up on the nuance and actually see that it's different. I think the majority of people probably won't figure it out, it won't jump out at them as it being different. I know that it's different, and it does kind of bug me, but not enough for me to go through all the hoops that I would have to go through to update it in book 1. So I'm just going to allow that thing to be internally inconsistent. But if there's something that I can change here, and the thing that has not been published, to make sure that there are no continuity issues from book 1 all the way through book 4, I will absolutely make changes to this manuscript for those items. But I'm not planning to go back and make any changes to book 1. And, you know, and if the issue had been in book 2 or book 3, great. Like, I'll make those changes, like, no big deal, right? But yeah, not to the book that I have an audiobook for. Just not, yeah, no. Yeah, not gonna do it. So that is what the upcoming week is going to look like. And so from my perspective, yeah, it's kind of like a free week. So I could have used it to try to get ahead on the next thing that's in my novel writing plan. But I said, you know what? I originally planned for this book to be done by next Sunday, not this Sunday. The editor can't take it early. Go ahead and use this time period and go back through the document again, and don't worry about trying to get ahead on the next thing that's on the novel writing plan, which is writing a holiday romantic suspense for, guess who? Julian and Mina! Yeah, I know. I thought I was done with these people, but I just like them, and it's a little sad. So I was a little bit sad kind of writing the end on their story. I'm going to miss them. And so I said, okay, well, I can write a holiday novella, romantic suspense, to get me in that whole holiday type of story frame of mind, because after I do that, I'm flowing into my sweet romance, right? And it'll be a holiday. So I thought, okay, well, a good bridge between romantic suspense with cussing and sex and violence and killing and dead bodies flying all over the place to sweet romance with like none of that. Like none. I thought a good bridge between the two is, okay, well, write a romantic suspense book that is a little more suspense light, but has the whole holiday element, the Christmas miracle type of element around it. And who better to write that story for but Julian and Mina. So that'll be my bridge before I start going all in on the sweet, clean, small town holiday romances. That's up in 2 things next on my novel writing plan. So that is what I'll be doing over the next week, and I'm going to absolutely keep you guys posted on my progress when I do my video next week. Now, if you want to continue to keep up with me and all the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books, click the subscribe button. Then don't forget to click that little silver bell so you won't miss when I do a video, and I will see you next time.